What's going on, cultivators and connoisseurs, and welcome back to the Bloom Room. Tonight we out in the flower room. You know we up underneath all these beautiful optic 4s. This one off already because you know we go off in sequence. The one behind me probably going to go off next, and then we got to turn these ones off because we had a little bit of a power glitch last night. Again, power been a little bit of a problem here this winter. All this rime frost killing out power lines, breaking down power stations. Been kind of a nightmare here the last little bit. Mr. Bloom been a little bit sick. Probably hear it in my voice. But we back in action. So let's give a little bit of a shout out to TNB Naturals, baby, because you know what? Here up in the Bloom Room, we picked up a sponsor, and our first sponsor happens to be TNB Naturals, baby. Much love to Josh and the boys at TNB Naturals. Thanks for picking up your boy. Thanks for picking up Vicious Gamer. Thanks for picking up my boy Grasshopper. You know the Legion of Bloom going to represent proper always. We always got TNB Naturals happening in all of our spaces. Always going to get you some rock hard nugs. You can keep your plants deficiency free if you're using that enricher. We love those products. Of course, we're running all these optic LEDs. None but love for West Coast cannabis, optic LED grow lights. You want yourself some quality. Look at that. Boom. There's canopy for you right there. All provided by optic LEDs. I'm telling you, they're going to blow up your garden. Alright. You know what we do here? We show it all. The good, the bad, the ugly. So, let's start off with the bad and the ugly. We got some bad news. And it's ugly. If you squeamish, you might want to get a garbage can, or hold on to your loved one, or have a really, really big dab before we turn around, because it's about to get ugly here for a couple of minutes. Look at what happened to Grape OX. I got Chopper down. Let me turn the humidifier off. Yeah, I guess we'll start right here. Well, hidden nature, a son of a bitch. Look at that girl right there. Big, beautiful Soviet caravan. Big, beautiful plant. And look at how sad she is. And she only sad for one reason. Take a look at that. 39 Fahrenheit. And that was like for 5 hours. Power went off almost in the entire province. So it's not like I was special and got singled out. It's just what happens sometimes when you're growing. We early into flower here. Only about like 10 days in with this girl, so she healthy. She's probably going to recover. We deep in flower now. 4 weeks in. 4.5 weeks in on this big old girl. This was our 1 light, 1 pound, 1 plant, 1 grower. It's that big, beautiful Grape OX. And you can see she having some problems right now. She not liking it too much at all. But we'll bring you back in a couple of days. Look how big and healthy that plant is. She gonna bounce. We be alright. We gonna make some lemonade, baby. We'll check you in a few. Okay, well, 39 degrees. She didn't pull out, and there's a reason for it. So I had left a bunch of water down in the saucer when it was in the veg room at the end, because it was in there by itself, and the humidity kept dropping down so low that I wasn't getting good growth. And so I was leaving a little bit of water behind in the tray. But because that's so goddamn big, and had been there, and the root bag is so like filled with roots, it dropped a whole bunch of roots into the pan. And so I was just feeding it hydroponically, right? As a matter of fact, for the last couple of weeks of its life, I had a little air stone in there, and I was pumping a little bit of oxygen through the nutrients that was in there. So I would feed this plant when I came in with a whole bunch of feed and let it drip all the way through, and then I would suck that feed out of the tray, and then I would replace it with brand new feed, and then I'd drop the air stone in there and let it run, and it was doing great. But when the temperature got real down like that, I had a buddy by who grows hydroponics, and I picked the plant up, and he took a look, and he said that the root ball got frozen, and he said that he's had that happen before on plants, and that they just die. And I couldn't let go, so it's been like 10 days, and I've been feeding it, and I've been trying to keep it like healthy and alive, and it's not gonna happen. It's just killing itself. So down she goes. It's super unfortunate too, because she was really starting to pack on a ton of really nice buds, man. I'm telling you, and like it was getting like so frosty already, like you can see, right? Like it was getting so nice and frosty. The smell on this thing, man, the density is like fantastic. The smell still even smells fantastic, but she gotta go. I'm afraid she's gonna like do something stupid, like drop some balls or something like that and try and pollinate herself or whatever. So, or maybe get some like mold or bud rot or something like that, and I just don't want any of that in here, so I'm just gonna have to get rid of her. I'm gonna actually try and take a couple of like this here, like this one's still kind of green and it's got flexibility to the stem. I'm gonna see if I can re-veg some of this. If not, I got 10 growers in my community who got clones of this plant, who have some of it sitting around, and I know I can access this genetics anytime. Unfortunate that this beautiful light, we were, I think, gonna get our 1 pound. I don't know though, and I can't say I was gonna, because, well, we're not gonna find out. But what we are gonna find out on this light is we're gonna try and go for 2 grams per watt on this light. I'm gonna chop this sucker down, and we are gonna look at these. I mean, woo-wee. Look at them little babies. They ain't even real tall. I got these nice and short and all trained out. You can see every single node go all the way to the top. Ain't nothing that ain't gonna flower out here. These plants are only like, you know, I don't know, maybe like 3.5 feet from the ground, right? Like these optic LEDs, they're gonna flower everything in there, man. And we got, these are my 2 favorite right here, man. This Aurora Indica right here in the middle by Seedsman. This is a fantastic plant, man. This all its tops all around the outside, and this all its lowers. Just this beautiful bush. Now we gonna come through here and we gonna take a whole bunch of these leaves out and thin this plant out now that she's starting to stretch. We're gonna thin out all of that canopy, and we're gonna make her look a little bit naked for a bit, But I'm telling you, man, this plant back here, this one right here, I did this one a little bit more like my boy SoFlo. If you haven't seen SoFlo grow, make sure you check out SoFlo grow. That's great new grower, man. Trying out stuff. I like he trying out stuff all the time. This plant in the back here, I did more like SoFlo, and I have made this thing so naked and ugly. Like, I don't know, 5 times. 5 times. I nakeded this thing so much that I was like, oh my god, did I do too much? And then like 3 days later, it looks like this again. As a matter of fact, these leaves right here were like smaller than this leaf, like maybe like 3 days ago. Like, I just keep taking all of the big leaves off this plant, and she just has all these huge nodes, like big, beautiful. The white Rolex in the back there, seedsman. The white Rolex up here in the front. This one we did kind of like a medium. I did one really big defoliation like I did with this one back here. But then I've been a little bit more tempered with my defoliation throughout the rest of the late veg. And now coming into the flower room. We've been into the flower room now 6 days with all 6 of these girls right here. I love this Aurora Indica. Another one right there as well. Beautiful plant as well. Same thing. All the tops all the way around the outside. All the lower nodes growing up in the middle. Like, we can take a look down here. And you can see, like, even these like lowest nodes, they come into here. And that's only about 8 inches from the top of the canopy. And we know that those optic LEDs are going to flower like 3 feet, right? So anything down here, not a problem. We can come through, we can take out all these hangers, all these low hangers. We don't need these anymore. They ain't helping us no more. Most of our stretch is going to be over with. I can see things are starting to like form up on the top a little bit now. So you can see we got nice and clean everything down in here. This one I split, put a little bit of raw organic honey in there, and then just cover it over with a little bit of piece of tape. And I'll bet you if we take this piece of tape off, it's been about like 8 or 9 days, I'll bet you this is completely grown across now underneath. I just put the twisty on there just to hold it together for a couple of days so that it wouldn't fall apart, because these are getting pretty thick and heavy already. All in 5 gallons. Those 2 in the back in 3 gallons. And this one is like a true 5 gallon. It takes 5 gallons of medium, not like, you know, 11 liters or whatever these 5 gallons. These are number 5 pots. This one would be like a number 9 pot, I think, in the US. So it's a big pot. So, yeah. We got all the seasoning girls here. This one, strawberry banana grape in the back. She's a little bit shorter than the rest, but beautiful little bush. And the one, Bruce Banger. Wait till you see the Bruce Banger flower from the last one. Ooh, baby. Oh, that's some spicy, sparkly stuff. This is a beautiful plant, man. Big, huge, healthy nodes all over her. I just keep ripping the hugest fan leaves off of her. She just produces these big monsters. These, they just get bigger and bigger and bigger. She fantastic, and she dynamite smoked the last one. Ooh, fantastic. So, what we're gonna do? We're gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4. No. We're gonna do 1, 2. We're gonna do the 2 white Rolex, strawberry banana grape, Bruce Banger, and this Aurora Indica. We're gonna all put all 5 of those underneath that Optic 8 Plus right there. And we're gonna shoot for 1,000 grams. Yeah, we're gonna try and push it, man. We're going to try and push that 2 grams per watt on that bad boy. We're going to use those 5 girls right there. This big old bush right there, going to go underneath that optic 4 right there. And we're going to try and push. We're still going to try and push that pound, man. Still going to try and push that pound. I have seen this Aurora Indica, the right phenotype. I think this is the one. If the Lightworkers Grow series is still hanging around, let me know what you think, man, because I know you had the right phenotype of that Aurora, and I think this is the right one. I think we can really bush this girl out. We can really push it around in that corner, make it nice and big, and we're gonna try and push the pound on the one plant. I really want to do it, and it's still a goal of mine, and life's about goals, man, and not only just about top quality medicine. I'm about keeping myself engaged and active and focused, and I find if you challenge yourself, then that's the way you stay and create the best medicine. It's how you stay on point. It's how you make it beautiful, baby. Look at that canopy. In the back, we got from my boy Grasshopper Genetics. You know what we got going on back there. That star fucker right there. Hawaiian cherries, if you please. I like to call her star fucker. And man, she beautiful. Look how stacked this plant is. Look at her. Just banging. She's so thick. I bend this plant all over the place. I take so many big leaves from her. She is the biggest leaf producer I have ever seen. Like, this is nothing, man. Like, she produces just giant frisbee-sized leaves all the time. She's a beast. I can't bend her enough. Like, this is a lower node. This ain't even a top branch. This is a lower node. This is a lower node right here, too. This is the top. All the way bent out back over here. And that's all its lower nodes inside here. She a beautiful plant, man. For a 3-gallon pot, like, and she's stinky, man. Oh, she's skunky cherries. Definitely like, stinky cherry pie. And we got our top secret animal untopped right there, looking fantastic and beautiful. Just a big straight stock on that bad boy. She a great grower. I'm loving her, and she's stinky as hell. Oh, straight dank right there. Oh, she smell good. Look at all them beautiful seedsman girls. Now, I bet you think we had the good already, but we ain't got to the good yet, man. The good news is, Soviet Caravan, I turned the light back on, and look at this thing, man. The heat came back on. You saw her in that video along with the Great Ball X. She was in here. It's 39 degrees in here Fahrenheit. And look at how this girl pulled through. Now, here's the most exciting part about this plant. I mean, look at how big and beautiful she is. I mean, that's number one. Look at all them beautiful afros we got going on. But look at how frosty this plant is already. Ooh, wee, baby. I knew this was the right phenotype. I could tell just by the way the leaves were growing in veg. And so when I sold them clones, I made sure I took a clone of this one and kept it for myself. And I made the right choice, right? Because look at this bad boy. She been in here for like 15 days, 16 days now. And look at how frosty she is. Everywhere she got frost on all of her. Boom. And I can tell already, she gonna start to flick nibble horns. And I knew this was going to be the right phenotype, man. It was going to lean that like Cuban sativa, right? You can see it's got these long, speary kind of sativa leaves. I knew it was going to lean this way, man. Look at that frost on all these projected leaves. Like, this is not attached, right? It's projected on a stem, and look at the frost on it. Like, it's crazy, man. And it smells straight up like, it smells like the original phenotype of Russian doll. That, like, oh, that great Bazooka Joe bubblegum with skunk piss. And then it's got like a little diesel-y, like little train wrecky diesel finish to it. She marvelous, man. And she's gonna start the devil horn. You watch, like these ones right in here. You see how they like start to stack like that on top of each other? This leaf gonna start to flick up like this. And then over on the other side, this one here gonna start to flick up like that. They're gonna grow upwards like that, and there's all these top colas gonna have like little devil horns on them. You can see she flew too close to the sun right at the beginning of stretch, and we actually got a little bit of light burn on a couple of these top colas right there. So that was kind of unfortunate. Stunted her for a second. It happened right after the power went out. It was kind of weird. But yeah, it really stretched up right after that. And that night it got burnt a little bit on those few tops right there. But we pulled the light up. We super cropped over this really tall one here, because it was just too tall. We just couldn't control it anymore. And you can see now, like, all the tops, all the new growth is all good. We're just pushing things at the right level. And we're going to come through and we're going to start plucking off all these projected leaves. Get them out of the way, even though they have, like, all that frost on them. I'm going to cut the bases off. We're going to make some... Oh, we're going to juice those bad boys. Ooh, we're going to make ourselves some good smoothies. Look at that. That's what we're working with right there. Soviet Caravan, baby. Bloom Bloom Genetics. Part of the Legion of Bloom. Look at that big old beast right there, man. Just in a 5-gallon pot. Right? You don't need no 10-gallon pot, no 15-gallon pot. You want to grow yourself a big old tree? Grow yourself a big old tree in a 5-gallon pot, no problem. Now, I guess, truthfully, if you were buying like a 9-gallon pot, like what they sell as a 9-gallon pot, or like a 7-gallon pot, I'm not quite sure what the equivalence would be. I guess that truly is, because it's a weird pot. I got them from China. They're actually really good though. They're nice and thick. I like these like thick ones like this. I don't like the ones like that are like material. I find they don't, like, the cocoa doesn't stay nice. Like, you see how this is all like nice and flat, and there's no like bumps and ridges and valleys and stuff. That's filled with like bumps and ridges and valleys, and I don't like that though. The feed doesn't go properly around in the pot, if you ask me. These ones here, I actually did a difference in the cocoa medium. I always use the Botanicare white bag bricks, but I find they dry out real fast in the wintertime for me because there's like zero humidity. So I actually mix them with the cocoa earth bricks that I don't really care for. I mix the bricks 1 and 1. And I'm actually loving it. It's nice and fine, like the Botanicare, but I find that those the cocoa earth ones, they like retain the moisture a little bit more, like peat moss. And so things aren't drying out so much for me. Like, I'm just coming in here to do my morning feed right now, and you can see there's just a couple of like dry flecks on the top of each pot, and like that's perfectly where we want to be, man. We want things to just kind of start to dry out before we get to our morning feed. And we'll probably get into about 3 feeds a day on these girls, because they pretty thirsty girls. All right, let's go check on what we got going on in the veg room and what we're going to replace over on this side, right? Because we're going to run this big old Aurora Indica over underneath this light, but from here to there, we're going to run those two, and then we got 4 others in there. We got 1 more strawberry banana grape inside, and we got 3 of the critical purple kush. So let's go take a look.
Yo, we about to set